All right. Our presentation is Themes of Leadership. My name is Corey Ward.
And I'm Alexis Varghese.
So, first, we wanted to talk about the nature of leadership. The nature of leadership involves a relationship between the leader and members of an organization, otherwise known as followers. It's pretty much the basic building block of leadership. Uh, and this relationship is used to energize and mobilize members of the organization to align their self interest and vision to that of the organization. So, the leader is basically leading the followers to the destination that the organization wants to go. And leadership is driven by the leader's intrinsic passion and discipline, and that comes from Don Quixote. Some significant concepts of leadership to us include without followers, there is no leader. Again, it's the basic building block of leadership. And leaders must provide motivation in order to drive positive behavior. This motivation can be either extrinsic or intrinsic. And leaders must recognize that diversity is a benefit to an organization. Diversity provides unique perspectives to the organization and creates a whole more well-rounded organization as a whole. And leaders must recognize that they wield power and must use it responsibly and fairly. And we wanted to talk about what makes for a great leader. Some of these traits include passion and discipline. Again, it's what really makes a leader effective, is what we came to an understanding of, as well as leaders value context. They don't react to the same situation, react to different situations the same way. They are able to tailor their responses to the needs of the situation. Leaders are also good listeners. This is how they're able to come to those conclusions, and they're good listeners to people who value open communication as well. Because without open communication, they're really not able to gauge where the organization is at. And leaders also value and respect their followers, because without respecting their followers, they really aren't there for the organization's best interest. They're really there for their own, and followers are able to recognize that, and that's when they begin to resist.
Okay, and going a little bit more into leaders and their followerships. As said before, there is no leader without at least one follower. A leader's followers should share their leader's vision, but not follow blindly. So they're able to question and kind of have a conversation about the vision and be able to kind of progress it further and develop it further. So good followers support an effective and ethical leader and will oppose a leader who is either unethical or bad. This kind of ties into followers having their own sorts of power of influence. And even though they're not quite the same as a leader, so they don't have quite as much authority, they do have their own power and influence and are able to influence their leaders and kind of change their own circumstances. So vision and values concerning leaders. Vision allows leaders to work towards a future that others might be able to not be able to see. So even if their followership can't see quite as far ahead or project into the future as much, a leader is able to. So they're able to see a future for the company or their project or whatever they're working on. So the values that a leader projects are also very important. They usually come from their culture or their experiences, and they really help to shape their vision and turn their followership help their followership to understand their vision and really work towards the future. To achieve their vision, leaders also must be able to clearly communicate it. So even if you have a really awesome vision and a really great project to work towards, if you're not able to tell people what you're trying to do, it's pretty, you're not really able to get too much done. So to be a great leader, you also really have to be able to communicate it well so that people can understand it and help you work towards it. So overall, like, we kind of worked through the implications of leadership themes. Leadership is people that you're working with. It's being able to effectively motivate and communicate with them while also working towards a unified vision. Great leaders have and wield authority responsibly, and they recognize that their followers also have power and influence, are able to balance that and work with that. Leadership deals with a lot of relationships and a collective view, so they're able to work through what they have themselves and what everyone else has to bring to the table. And they're able to work with all that and put it together and come up with a really cohesive goal. So we've got our references here.
And that's our presentation. Thank you for
Awesome.
listening.